up, guys? This is Automotive Anonymous, and that's the 2023 Subaru Impreza base model, generously borrowed by Twin Falls Subaru in Southern Idaho. I'll link it below. Check them out. They're good people to work with. Otherwise, what we're going to do is a walk around, review, initial driving impressions, going through the specs, 0 to 60, final thoughts to see if the Impreza is worth your time and money. This being the base model, starts at about $20,000, but after destination, an optional package 3, which includes the dimming mirrors and the compass, it's closer to 22.5. There are 7 trim levels, topping out at about $27,000. We are now in the 5th generation that started in 2017, and this is actually the final year of the generation, as the 6th gen refresh comes next year. These compete against the Civic, the Corolla, some of those other smaller vehicles. This one, having all-wheel drive though, I think holds a hard line against the competition though. These are just under 15 feet long, 6 feet wide, and under 5 feet tall. They weigh about 3,100 pounds, or roughly 4 well-fed zebras. And Subaru sells about 35,000 to 86,000 of these in the US every year. It's got about 5.1 inches of ground clearance. It has a 205 55/16 tire with a temporary spare, and you might be able to see it's a steely wheel behind the hubcap. It's the first Subaru I've driven in a long time that doesn't have full-on rims. They are a 5-star crash test rating in every category, and they do have eyesight standard on this automatic model. It's got a 13.2 gallon tank, so getting 36 highway, 28 city means you can get up to 475 on the highway. Let's get right into it. What's inside the base model Impreza in crimson red pearl? Door panel, very Subaru. Got the fake carbon fiber. Subaru just can't let it leave the factory without including that. You could fit about 150 pennies in here, or $12 in quarters. Bottle holder and 2 or 3 Pop-Tarts wide, depends on how well filled they are. Nothing on the door sill plate. Cloth seats, manual adjustments. They do look really well, and driving out here, they were quite comfortable for my build. Traction control, dimming setting for the interior lighting, fuse box, hood release, rubber pedals, and dead pedal. And you know what, guys? This one has an actual key, so we're gonna have to turn it on the old-fashioned way. Feels basically like a base model Crosstrek in here. The gauge is pretty straightforward. No leather wrap on the base model though. It's just kind of the polymer plastic type of material, but it's not too hard. We can go through info to go through the top screen. MPG looks pretty poor because it's spent most of its lifetime just idling so far. Or we can go through the little paddles down here to go through the center display. Once it warms up, it'll tell us PSI. Otherwise, pretty basic settings. Horn sounds good. A little bit high-pitched. Volume controls on the left, source for radio, music. It does have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. All the adaptive cruise control settings there, which work really nice. Compass and dimming mirrors. Just a nice little screen here. You don't get the CD player on this model, but you do get the horizontal line with the Subaru. So if you forget what that symbol means, if you're on the phone with someone and they're like, hey, what kind of new car did you get? I got a Subaru. That's why it's there. Speakers are not super deep in how the sound quality comes across, because it's just the base model, but they're not bad for $22,000. You can't complain. Having Android Auto, Apple CarPlay really is a nice feature. Down here you got an aux, USB, and a 12-volt. Manual tactile controls, which I really like. Drive to low. No adjustments there. You can't play with the CVT. There aren't pedals either. You're missing out on the heated seats and the X mode buttons there. You do get 2 nice cup holders. You can do some handbrake turns if you're like this guy. And then you have the center armrest, which is pretty nice. Not huge, but it does have a 12-volt in there. All right, let's get behind ourselves. Let's see how we fit. Tungsten red really looks nice on this model. Door panels, carbon fiber theme follows. Again, about the same size handle and change holder. Bottle holder and some extra snacks. Nothing on the door sill plate. Cloth seats look really nice. It is a 40-60 split to get to the trunk. Sitting behind ourselves in the Impreza at 5'11", it's surprisingly spacious back here for this size of car. No armrest on the base. No vents, heated seats, plug-ins. But it is a pretty nice view from the back. Can't complain too much. Going around to the trunk. .3 cubic feet with the seats up. With them down, it's closer to 55. You get a temporary spare tire under here. You get your tools if you pull that out further. And then just some foam. Not as well insulated as some of the higher trim level or other models by Subaru, but it's not too bad either. Single tip exhaust, again, 5.1 inches of ground clearance, not too bad. Continental tires look really good. You have the latch to open that inside by the driver, similar to the Crosstreks, and then pretty basic door panel, looks really good. Fairly soft touch, I think that would be pretty comfortable. Single map pocket, so only one backseat driver without a fight, a commotion, and then backseat backpack, very safe. Child latches are up here. There's no subwoofer or anything like some other Subarus offer, like some of the WRXs. But you really have everything you need for a base model car. If you're riding shotgun, there might be enough room for a small or a sawed-off shotgun. Not saying I recommend doing that, but they don't call it shotgun for no reason. Door panel looks great. Of course, manual controls, just like the driver. Seat looks really good. And then it's a little bit under MSRP. You have a locking glove box. Pretty good sized room. I don't see any 12 volts in here though. But if you buy this model, I'm sure they'll give you that screwdriver. It is a Subaru tool. Yeah, it's for the crossbars, so of course you get that. Going around to the front, what's under the hood? Two-liter horizontally opposed boxer makes 152 horse, 145 torque. In a 3,100 pound vehicle, it actually feels pretty darn good around town. I could imagine the new generation RS for 2024 is going to be pretty fun, just knowing how the upgraded 2.5 in the Crosstrek feels compared to the premium and base. I'd imagine this Impreza, the new version with the 2.5, will feel great, but the 2-liter, 152 horse, it gets the job done. You have the battery, negative terminal, positive terminal, windshield washer, coolant, top mount oil filter, 0W20 fill. You get all the ducting that goes through the grill, through the filter, more ducting, baffling to quiet it down, throttle body, upper intake manifolds. You got the belt protector right here, so you don't lose some fingers in the engine bay, because not only would they be toasty and dirty, but they're gonna be hard to find if you lose them. You got the alternator right up top, dipstick. And then if you look really close, far down, you can see where the CVT connects. Otherwise, very spacious design in here. There's a lot of room. You can so easily see even the VIN numbers on the block and where the two halves are mated. Let's drop the hood. Let's go for a drive. We're gonna teleport inside, go for our initial driving impressions, and then a 0 to 60. We'll see how it does at altitude in the wet. That's real world testing. Initial driving impressions of the Impreza base are that it's substantial. It's really good. Visibility is great because it's a Subaru and it's pretty much an unlifted Crosstrek base. Very smooth on the road. We have just a little bit of road noise, but not too bad. It's better than a WRX. It's not as good as an Outback or an Ascent, but I really can't complain for the price point. Acceleration even on a wet road, it's not too bad. We are going uphill a little bit, but it has enough power to slide some snow off the roof. That's not a testament to this 2-liter Boxer's power. I don't know what is. Sound quality, as mentioned, is decent, but there's not the depth that other higher end systems would have. Armrest is comfortable on the door. Same on the center console. Everything is really right where you need it to be. It's easy to reach, easy to get to if you have to shift down to the low gears. I don't have any concerns. Braking is easy. With these tires and the weight of the vehicle, stopping is not a problem. We'll do a little bit of an acceleration, maybe half throttle. RPMs, and they were holding. CVT kind of dances around. Sometimes it holds RPM where it thinks it's the most important. Sometimes it fake shifts. It's hard to say what it's gonna do. In my testing on other Subarus, 0 to 60 on some vehicles can vary about a second, just depending on what the transmission does, and then about a second or two depending on what our density altitude is. Overall, I can't complain about this vehicle. I think it competes fairly against the Civic, the Corolla, and the Elantra, some of those other competitors. But living where we live, where this is hardly any snow, I'm glad I'm in a Subaru, personally. Let's get to 0 to 60, let's see what it can do. 0 to 60 in the 23 Impreza. Traction control's off. We'll brake rev. Density altitude's 2,300 feet, so we're down on power about 8% right now. Let's see what it can do. I'll post a GPS graph right after. The bottom left without the foot of rollout is how it's rated by the magazine, so keep that in mind. And then it is a wet road on our private track today, so let's see what it can do. Revs to about 2,500. RPM, and it sounds actually pretty good. That came in at a true 0 to 60 at 10.00 seconds. Not too bad. RPM's taking some time to drop. Since you can see there's snow outside, I want to show you a clip of how this does accelerating and turning in the snow, and then we'll get to our final thoughts. So I'll show you guys accelerating on a plowed but still snowy and icy parking lot, and then the turn radius to show you just how good it does on the factory Continental tires. We are going about 20 miles an hour, and it really does just fine. Let's do a brief U-turn. So much better than the other competitors that don't have all-wheel drive. You feel really in control, empowered. Even in little slides, little skids, it's easy to get out of. Final thoughts of the 23 Impreza. If you're going for the last year of the 5th gen, you know, it's refined, you know, they've improved on any shortcomings it's had over its year run, and it really offers a lot of good stuff. Knowing how economical it is, how affordable it is, the fact that this competes against mostly front-wheel drive competitors in a climate like ours where it's not even winter yet and we're already getting snow and ice every day, every other day, I really think you should consider something like this. The good thing is, if the Impreza doesn't offer enough for you, this is the base. There's 6 other trim levels that offer other features, more safety, leather seats, heated seats, lots of good stuff. The Impreza for $22,000 I think really is a bargain. I personally probably wouldn't buy it without heated seats. Subaru heated seats are decent, but they're not the best I've been in. But after a full day of doing therapy, being tired, exhausted, my back hurting on my drives home, I would personally get one that has heated seats, but that's up to you. That might not matter to you. You might not even like the feel of that. But what you are gonna like the feel of is getting great MPG, knowing that you're safe, you're in a 5-star crash tested vehicle. You have crossbars, you're ready to hit the ski slopes, you're ready to put some more storage compartments up there. You're ready to do whatever you need to do. And you're not gonna be breaking the bank either. If you like my video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It really helps the channel grow, and for those of you who already have, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and it's fun to connect on the comments. Otherwise, if you're interested in this one, it's gonna be in the description Twin Falls Subaru, great people to work with. Check them out. Take care, guys.